So today we put up this post, me as an Austin Holloman, and no, it has nothing to do with Ghana. It has nothing to do with Ghana. It has exactly everything to do with what I said. The post here says, after looking at some photos of women I've dated in Brazil, about 80% of the women in my recent content. Pay attention to the wording and you'll understand why I said what I said. About 80% of the women in my recent content are way below my standards. Now, we know in the United States, it is not good for a man to have standards. You know that, right? You know, as a women can have standards, say he got to be 6 feet tall and have this amount of money. But the minute a man has a certain standard, and standards are not looks, right? That is part of it, but it's not just looks. So when a woman has standards, she can say he needs to be this tall, he needs to have this much money, and he needs to be a Christian. Christian is not looks, but it is a standard. So I, Austin Holloman, because I have a standard, it's against the law, at least in the United States.
Hi guys, so Austin has this sidekick named Floyd. Floyd is a very strange, odd guy. Floyd is an adult, but he behaves like a child. Like he's an adult, but he needs instructions, directions, supervisions on things adults should be able to do independently without instructions or directions. And Austin treats him like a child too. So Floyd had posted a video of him kissing a French woman, and Aston put that video on Aston's own community wall, and Aston's followers were, commenting how ugly the girl was, and um, and that for some reason made me start to think of this tweet that Aston posted attacking African girls, saying that they were below his standards. That was back in September 2nd, actually. Mm, in that tweet, he said after he looked at some of the photos of women he dated in Brazil, about 80% of the women he has been dating in Africa were below his standards. And I'm like, no, actually, it's the other way around. It is you are below the standard of the African girls that you are dating. It's obvious the African girls are way beyond your standard. Like they were up, but way above your standards. And we know that by comparing the kind of girls that he is being dated, than an African girls that he's been dating versus the kind of African girls he dated. And since he's been to Romania, he has only been able to date fat Romanian girls. And that is not, I mean, he had a live where, he was talking about this Romanian girl that he met at a cafeteria. And I mean, the way he described it, the whole thing for me sounds strange because, anyways.
I was at this place. I was at this place, right? And I'm sitting there waiting on my food, and then I noticed a chick just wandering around. It's a restaurant during the daytime. It wasn't like she was working at another place that's connected to that place. But I guess she saw me, so she's just wandering by the bar, not ordering anything. But I guess she knows the staff because she works there, but just wandering. So you guys know I'm a choosing signal guy, so I pick up on the environment. So I'm like, okay, she's just walking around in circles, not doing shit. Let me see. Let me watch this. So she takes a glance over. Okay, I saw that. And she glanced again. So I waved. She waves back and she smiles. I'm like, okay. Now I know I got this one. This is not a cold approach. I got up and I went and approached her, asked her what her name was, told her, hey, I saw you, I saw you. We made eye contact a couple times. and I exchanged numbers with her, right? And then this time she comes and sits by me, and she sat in such a feminine way. It was so pleasant. Most of y'all would have thought she got some sort of motive or she about to rob me. But that's not what it was. What she did was she sat, it was a couch I was sitting on. She sat on the couch and she crossed her legs like this. And she leaned back and she did her face like this. I was like, God damn. She constantly put her, when she would talk to me, she would touch my knee while she would talk to me, or my thigh and my knee, right? We love that kind of affection. Don't you like that kind of affection?
Yeah, I do.
We love that kind of affection, right?
A very forward Romanian girl. She gave him her phone number and they started talking to each other right there in the cafeteria, and he seemed like to have fallen in love with her like right there and then. And later in the program, he describes her body.
If you are like me and you like that the thighs and the full body, like that one I just told you that I met at that little restaurant, she had a full body.
And he says that she had weight on her. She had full body, and we know why he describes her like that. It's because she's not black. If she was black, you would have called her fat. And that she is a fat girl, and so that is the kind of girl he could only date in Romania. And he is saying, and he's trying to make it look like, because he doesn't realize that he has already told us why he is dating fat girls in Romania. It's not because he likes them, it's because that's his only choice, because he has already told us in a video that he posted 2 or 3 days ago that like about dating in Romania as a black man. He said that the average the average Romanian girl you meet on the street would not date black guys. So men like Auston are forced to go to niche clubs, Afro clubs, where Africans and other black people living in Romania go to clubs to party, and in that party, there are Romanian men and women, and the women there are more open to dating black guys. But he said the women there were fat. I mean, he keeps on telling that they have weight on them, but no. I mean, if these women were black, he would have called them fat. And basically, he's saying he told us that the only choice for black men to date in no Romania, the only dates that are open for them are fat Romanian girls.
A chick told me she was going to an Afro event. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go meet you up there. And so we went up there, and there was, of course, all Romanian people. And I was talking to one of the guys, he was from Cameroon, and he told me that all the chicks that go up there, they're a lot more open to dealing with black men. So whenever I got up there, I went inside and I was like, oh shit, okay, they're very, very choosy in here. Like you could tell that that's what they were into. So I told Floyd when we got there, like, just sit back and just watch the area. Like, when they're choosy like that, wait to see who is the most interested in you and just take them one by one, rather than there was no need to cold approaching them because they were so choosy. So that's just a pro tip. If you do come to Romania, from what I can see, a good place to go would be an Afro event if you're black. If you're black, it's to go to an Afro event. Also, the women there had a lot more weight on them the way how black men like them. I just came from Africa, so I'm used to seeing some of the fattest asses I'd never seen in my life. But the women there did have, let's say, southern United States white girl bodies. Now,
so in outside Africa, he has no choice but to date fat girls. But in Africa, he was able to date, fit, friendly, and feminine girls. So really, it's not, the the Africans the African girls that were below his standard. It was him who was below the standards of African girls. Let's make this clear. These passport bros say fat is ugly. I mean, when you ask them why they are going abroad looking for, dates, looking for girls, that one of the top reasons they give you, if not the top reasons they give you, is obesity, overweight rate among black Western women. They will tell you 77% of black American women are fat, 55% of British women are fat. So, they are ugly, they are undateable. They tell you that, right? So we know that these people, these passport bros, find fat girls ugly. And there is this guy named Passport Bro Business Class. He's always posting memes, and I mean, the guy is supposed to be, showing you how life is wonderful for passport bros, but 90% of his memes are um, revolve around black American women. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be like, done with them? Like, aren't you supposed to have left the country? You don't even want to deal with them, but you stop talking about them. Anyways, he is always posting memes of black American women like this one, even, black British women like this meme. And as you could see, the women are always drawn as fat, and the implication is that these black women are fat and ugly, right? So we know that passport bros like Auston thinks fat is ugly, but the only girls that the only when they are outside Africa, when they are not dating African girls, the only girls that would date them are the fat ones. Like I said, it's not because that is the kind of girls the passport bros are attracted to. It is because those are their only choices. I mean, this Austin guy was trying to make it look like, he likes, fat girls. Like like the kind of girls black men want, like, the ones that have meat on them. No, that's not the kind of girls you want. Of course, when they like the kind, women that have meat on them, they want the meat to be all in her hips and her ass. They don't want it to be all over the body. And like, if you listen to how he described the Romanian or Ukrainian girls versus the African girls, it's obvious that, the Romanian girls and the Ukrainian girls, their fat is not, where these black guys want the fat to be. But those are their only choice. The kind of women they can get are, fat girls. So it tells you that Austin, I mean, if his standards, because he's telling us that, because, and I'm almost sure that is also the kind of girls he was dating in Brazil, because remember, in Brazil, he rarely showed us the kind of girls he was dating. He was just, like walking into up to beautiful girls and recording them. Those were not, the girls he was dating. So it's obvious that, the kind of non-African girls that he was dating were, the fat girls that he and other passport bros say are ugly. But the African girls were, fit, friendly, and feminine. So really, so when you take that into account, it is obvious that it was Austin, because if Austin's standards are fat girls, when he was dating the fit and, slim girls in Africa, he was actually dating outside his league, right? They were outside his league. They were out of his league, right? He was dating above his standard, whereas it's obvious the African girls were dating below their standards. And if, to be honest, if the African girls were here in America, they probably would not be giving him the time of the day. So it's obvious that it is him who is below the standard of black girls. I mean, the black girls that he dated, it's obvious that, he was below their standard, right? Now, anyways, let me also say this. Uh, you know, um, I have been saying that the thing that this black passport bros hate in the black Western women is her blackness. It's not her behavior, it's not her attitude, it is her blackness, because we have seen over and over and over again that whatever they hate in a black woman, they will love it when, yeah, a black woman possesses it, right? Fatness, for example, which is what I'm talking about today. They tell you that, fat is so ugly that it forces a man to leave his native land when occurs in it comes in a black body, right? But when it comes in a white woman's body, not only do they not find it ugly, they actually find it attractive. That's what, Austin was trying to imply. He was trying to imply that, he likes fat girls, fat women, right? Fat white women. So, and this is what black African girls should have known, before, that I mean, I don't know if they knew or not, that he would have hated them sooner or later. He would have started attacking them the way he had been attacking black American women, because just like black American women, African women are black. And like I said, these men hate the blackness of black women. It is proof that, what they hate in the black American woman, in the black British woman, in the black Western woman is not anything having to do with behavior, with attitude, with character. It has everything to do with the black skin. Because, like one of my subscribers once said, these men believe that black only looks good on them. They believe that, black only looks good on black men. Black doesn't look good on black women. Anyways, yeah, so it is him, that was below him, Austin, that was below the standard of African girls. And we should be happy now that African girls could see, how, what kind of girls these men, what kind of non-black girls these men can get. Really, believe me, I mean, African girls were almost like, like way like on top, like for compared to the kind of girls these men are getting. Anyways, I have been saying this for a few days now. The Passport Bro tour, and the fact that, this tour is being televised, or I mean, I guess shown on YouTube, has been a good thing for black women everywhere, because people could see the problem is not black women, it is this men, because this men have been putting their deplorable behavior on recording it and putting it on YouTube for all of us to watch. Anyways, that's what I wanted to say. Let me know. Thank you. Bye bye.